You know when I said that I hadn't got cigarettes, they're in the car door.
Now
So
you
I
got too many.
literally have 2 packets of cigarettes now
got too many.
that I
You never
bought
have
in the
enough
space
bags,
of 4 hours, and I'm quitting smoking.
That's a sign of you quitting, man.
Is it?
Yeah, of course
Oh,
it is.
okay.
It's a sign.
Sorry.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to run around the car quickly and do intros, but I'm sure you know most of the people here, so over to my left.
Easy now. What's going on, guys? This is Stef. This is going south very quickly.
Yeah, I know. The worst intro to any video.
Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen me. I've been in Joe's videos, feeling very, very hungover from the 8 Series launch in Valencia. So that was good fun. Not for me, but maybe for you.
Yep, yeah. And you've got a YouTube channel, Stef?
I do, yeah. Stef AB TV. Link in the description if Joe's being nice. Happy days. Go and subscribe. I need all the help I can get.
Hello. Or hello. 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 Well, to either of the cameras, but hello.
And maybe you could sort of like.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So I'm Aaron. I'm a long time friend of Joe's, and generally a car person. I don't have a YouTube channel. I do have an Instagram that Joe will put up, Baby Griller 81. Just general cars, really.
God, Sid. Yes, that means it's your turn.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
It's the other one, isn't it?
It's not my Japanese or
Japanese, isn't it? They don't do that, actually.
Yeah, just.
Do they do it?
I don't know.
I'll ask Roger Chan. Hi there. I'm Sid. I'm that black guy who skins
No,
cars.
I'm that black guy. Oh, you're the black guy who skins cars.
Yeah, skin cars.
Yeah.
You're the black guy.
I'm the other black guy that just does. Yeah.
Who sits in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
I'm in the back of a 7 Series. I'm not actually driving, which makes a change.
Which makes the whole world a better place.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't say that.
It means we're looking out the windscreen, not the side windows.
Yeah.
Which is different. So yeah, no, just not riding shotgun, but sitting behind this lovely car.
And of course, Sid has got a fantastic YouTube channel as well. And
well, it's alright. Half of it's illegal, but yeah, it's skidding about a car.
It's not.
Public
It's
roads.
not. As his legal
Allegedly.
representative, it's not.
It's not
illegal.
It's not illegal. Yeah,
It's all filmed in Mexico. So
Of course, it's all filmed in Mexico. Although
Mexican
kind of
private roads.
Mexican
as well.
private roads,
Just
exactly.
doubly
So,
so.
Sideways it's the channel.
that's
Follow if you
10 miles
like
west
to see,
of Basildon.
Yeah, follow if you'd like to see cars being skidded about by people who are stupid enough to give you the keys.
Now, I'd like to. I want to kick this off by saying, obviously, aside from Aaron, who is a good friend and probably as big as, if not bigger, car person than all of us in the car. Ironically, the only one that doesn't have the YouTube channel, but the other two, lazy, yeah, that was in the tip of my tongue. But the other two, Stef and Sid, two YouTubers that I massively look up to and think are actual proper car YouTubers. They're people that know what they're talking about, people that enjoy driving. But what should we kick this off with?
Anything really? Can we talk about Bentaygas?
We can talk about Bentaygas.
We're talking about Bentaygas. Okay.
Yeah,
What's the fascination with the Bentayga?
It's Q7, isn't it?
It's
It's a flash Q7.
It's an ugly Q7.
We can go into the debate about platforms and everything be a nicer dress than the one before. You know, we get
Very
that.
true, yeah.
But
You got some nice
just what I'm going to say about the Bentayga. A couple of months ago, obviously I've seen Bentaygas for the lifespan they've been around. I sat and looked at one parked up in Onyx with the option big 5 bars.
Yep.
Sat low in kind of park. I like them. I don't know why, but I quite like them.
I think they're more acceptable now than they ever were when they were first launched.
for sure.
Mainly because of that Rolls Royce colour, if I'm honest.
Yeah, the rolls has definitely helped. That's helped the
Big time.
Bentaygas looks.
It won't help its sales. The weird thing about the Bentayga as well has been the run of models that they've gone through. You know, doing the V8, doing the diesel, dropping the diesel. They've now got that. What was it? The world speed car? Or they've got some record. Pikes Peak car.
Pikes Peak.
Yeah, that's it.
Have you seen that run?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
that
good,
is
isn't it?
brilliant.
Whoever drove that's a nut job, seriously.
But plummeting second-hand values.
Oh yeah, you can
Oh,
get
of
up
course.
110 grand,
Yeah.
and with 260 new, and that's the 6-litre W12. And the diesels you can get for like the thick end of 130 grand.
Yeah.
And that's
Is
not a bad engine.
Is this a Project 8 coming along here on the right here?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Can someone film it? Has someone got?
We'll chase it, man. You in the
Boom.
Hang on, here
I
we
just
go.
don't have a. Oh,
I've got
that's
it.
spec.
I've got it.
Nice.
No, it's an SVR.
I'm going to charge you for this footage, mate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, that does look
Project
really
8?
nice.
Yeah, it's a
It is a
Project
Project
8.
8,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
Project 8. It's really
Why? Because of the wing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's basically a stripped out hardcore version of the Jag XC. It's got a 5 litre V8.
But it's a serious bit.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it's
all-wheel drive as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Proper bit of kit.
I mean, they must have outsourced someone German to build that car because it's a seriously proper bit of kit.
No you can spec it without back seats.
You can.
Yeah, it's like a touring car for the world.
I do like that car.
Yeah.
Really, I know. Where were we? Bentaygas.
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 Yeah, they're cheap now.
Yeah.
Well, relatively cheap. Like for the cost of a new, I don't know.
Cheap for Sid.
Yeah, they're not cheap for
They're about 110 grand. I'll buy one. I'll buy one tomorrow.
Let's get one on the way back.
Yeah, get one on
It'll
the
go
way back.
nice alongside the
Bentley
GT4.
Bentayga. Yeah, why not? Yeah, exactly.
Perfect 2-car garage right there. GT4 and a Bentayga.
Car garage. Yeah, find the money. Not as rich as these boys. But you can get one for like 120, 130 grand.
Well,
and they just tanked. Well,
Here we go. 2016, 6 litre W12, rear entertainment, 39,000 miles. 99,949 pounds.
You got
Bum, bum.
Just show it to the camera.
Show that to the camera,
Mate.
That's
so,
insane.
if you're a housewife and you've got a rich husband and I don't know, it's a wedding anniversary or something, you can buy one of those rather than placing it.
Because I mean, it would be with a 6 litre W12 and just falling out of warranty. It'd be a pretty cheap second-hand purchase, wouldn't it? There's not going to be any horrendous running costs.
I mean, what year's that car? Well, 16.
That's
It's
16
still in warranty.
Still in warranty.
16 plate. Oh yeah. Okay, just.
Yeah, just. I don't know
See,
what.
there's a black one here, city spec, name audio on the 22s, 28,000 miles, and that's 119.
I think the problem is with the Bentaygas is you say on the 22s there, when you look at 22s on a Bentayga, they look like 16s, don't they?
They're not. No. The 22s actually aren't that bad.
Okay, so they
It doesn't
just
build
feel.
the arch.
But I have to say, the best Bentayga I've ever seen was very recently when I went up to Urban Automotive,
yeah.
Oh, mate, that
and went up
was
there with
stunning.
Lenny and stuff, and oh man,
Yeah,
He brought that down to the gas
He
station.
did bring it
as
to the gas
yeah,
station.
yeah.
And I have to say, like, I'm not the biggest Bentayga fan, but that's the first one. I like the SQ8 Q7. I think that looks great. But what are you two looking at? The Saab 9000.
CSE, look at that. The CSE was the 9,000 for the little
Exactly.
screw.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So
I love how the
Oh,
Saab 9000 it got more of a look from you guys than the Project 8.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
that's
don't see
interesting.
them
You
on the
don't
road,
see
man.
them.
No,
know?
you don't.
You remember the Carlson? Special
Oh,
edition?
yes.
Yes.
Good looking car. As well.
Those low pressure turbos in the Saabs as well were really good.
Yeah.
Those jet fire.
Your family had a Saab at one point. What happened
So
to
my
it?
dad, what a ledge, had a 1990 on a G 900 T16 turbo with the Carlson pack, with the big whale tail in white with burgundy velour.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Forget about it. Like, this thing, honestly,
Your
this
pimp,
thing.
that's a pimp wagon.
If he had this thing today, most legit car in the world. No,
Yeah.
it's super. Something about that 900 classic shape that is, it's. You see a nice 900 turbo convertible now. Yeah, I mean, they look good.
They look really
good.
But you had a cab in the family as well, didn't you?
Charlotte had a cab. Yeah,
Yeah.
My eldest sister had a cab that got written off.
Yeah, it went up.
Someone ploughed into it when parked.
Oh, yeah.
Then she had a 9.3 cab.
Oh, that went up in flames.
It went up in flames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was General Motors funded, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, it was
no,
about-
in the latter stages of its life,
Yeah.
it was.
and that's when they started falling apart.
That's when they started
because they were
falling apart.
basically poshed up Vectras, weren't they?
Yes, essentially.
Which are a bit wank.
I've got a good topic.
Yes.
Go on.
Our first cars.
Oh, yeah, that's
So,
that's good.
let's do that.
You're thinking of the viewers here.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
There you go.
I think they've had enough of Bentaygas.
Yeah.
Maybe
just
someone might be like, no,
ask
Steph,
them.
no, I want to hear more about Bentaygas.
I don't have viewers,
Yeah.
so I'm like, no, Bentayga, let's talk.
I'll kick off.
Yeah, go on, let's hear it.
My first car, Peugeot 106 Zest 2. It was on stilts, but it gets better. So in that time, Fast and Furious had just been released.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we all love a bit of Fast and Furious.
love it.
And at the time, I thought it was appropriate to walk into Halfords and buy everything that was on sale there. So we're talking full-on Wolf Race wheels. But you know that set of wheels and tyres that are out on display at the front that no one wants and they're just trying to push it? I bought them.
Yep,
Nice.
Discount.
I bought
No,
the old
full price.
neon lights.
No.
I got neon light, blue neon lights, but wait, on the M25 they fell off, so I was driving down the M25 with a blue neon light hanging off the back. Looked like I was a bloody ambulance. And then the ultimate one was, I mean, you know what sub 106s are tiny anyway.
Yeah.
I decided to put a 15-inch sub in the back of it with that old amp and the old 6x9.
Wow.
And I used to drive to uni every day through Richmond Park, blaring the tunes up,
Scaring
and
the
all the
deers.
deers would just go crazy.
Yeah.
It was completely bonkers. But it was the most fun I've had. I almost rolled it about 7 times.
Great
It was
car.
just-
You used to hang out with Ali G and stuff back in the day.
Yeah, mate, he was my mate.
Yeah, I can see.
And that's why I've got an
The same
A45
area.
AMG.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the glitter stick, the knob thing in the 8 Series.
Yeah, the
There you go.
crystallised knob or whatever
There you
it's
go.
called.
The Christian. My first car was a 1988 Mark II Golf 1.3.
Wow, that good start.
5-door manual white.
1.3.
Yeah. Now, I have to say, I loved it. I really, really did, because it's your first car. You're always going to love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I was a hooligan in that car, like a hooligan.
Yes.
Just driving everywhere far too quickly. I didn't really kind of mod it up or anything. I put some hubcaps on it.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
You know,
Great
that made
mod.
it look a little bit sportier. But yeah, great car.
Solid car.
4-speed
Solid
manual.
car, yeah. Oh, the good old 4-speed.
Yeah.
Mark II shaped cars are nice.
Yeah,
man.
Mark II
Squared
Golfs are
arm,
great.
look good.
You can find yourself, 1992 on a J, forest green, 5-door GTI, 16 valve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a rally.
Or a rally.
mate,
Didn't
yeah.
Harris have a rally the other day? He put one on his Instagram.
Oh, did he?
205.
Oh, was it a 205?
Yeah,
No, it was a
yeah.
106, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking
205.
about the golf rally.
Golf rally.
Oh,
Golf
sorry.
rally.
Left-hand drive, square arches, square lights.
Did they come to the UK?
No, there was, I think there was a few, obviously imported by independent VW dealers at the time, but none were made right-hand drive.
This is some really nerdy topic going on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we should move on to...
Sorry, Sid, first car.
We've gone
Sorry.
from wolf race wheels to
Yeah,
full on.
Sid's first car. Well, my first car was a Turbo S.
I wish.
At 14.
Yeah, 14. 14 months. No, you did, yeah.
No, my first car was a VW Up. High Up.
Oh, yes.
I had a
Did
high
have
up.
What's a high up?
It's the top spec. So you
Oh,
had,
it's an Up.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an Up, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
called the High Up, which was the top of the range.
It was, and then they brought up the Groove Up and
Groove
the Rock
Up,
Up.
yeah.
and they've got Happy Up.
Isn't there a GTI up?
Yes, there is
Yeah, there's an
now,
Up GTI,
yeah.
which is a bit of a disappointment.
4 years too late.
4 years too late. So I had that.
What's its competitor? A Lupo?
Twingo GT.
No, a Twingo. That's what I mean. The Twingo.
Yeah, the
Not a
Twingo was
Lupo.
its competitor. So it's a small little city car. I had that brand new, 17. Well, I had it before I passed my test, but it was brilliant. Loved it. Little 3-cylinder, 1
Yep.
litre,
Yep.
and it just reminded me of Porsches constantly because it just had that nice thrumminess about
Yeah.
it. And that's what got me into Porsches later on. Loved it.
And what did you used to do to make it a bit more exciting?
I pulled the fuse out, which disabled the stability control, traction control,
And?
the ABS. But no. But
Oh,
literally,
Pros
you
and
don't
cons,
need,
always pros and
So it obviously it had drums on the
And the
back.
airbags.
Yeah, and
drums in the back. You say drums in the back. Unfortunately, that's the biggest downfall of the GTI.
That's the biggest-
the
yeah.
Up GTIs. It's still got drums.
Oh,
on the back.
exactly.
It's still got drums on the
Yeah.
rear.
Yeah.
And that's
They're
that.
charging like 15 grand.
To
for
me,
that
that's
car
a
as well.
massive money-saving exercise. But they're saying they want to keep it original. That's bullshit. But anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, so the Up, great little car, normally aspirated. My mum's you had 2 flavours, 60, 75 horsepower. I had the 75 horsepower. It was also the first car I ever spec'd as well, and only car. So mine was silver, it had diamond cut 15-inch rims, it had the panoramic roof as well.
Diamond
cut.
cut,
You
yeah,
should have
I
just
know.
left it at diamond cut rims. Diamond cut 15 inch.
Diamond cut 11s.
I've got 11s.
Full leather seat, sat nav.
Full
Full leather, mate.
Full leather.
In your
Yeah.
full leather in your first
I
car.
had floor mats as well.
Ah.
75 quid option.
Oh my
mate,
god.
it was brilliant.
What did you just do? Go select all?
Yeah, I went everything. I spec the whole lot apart from mud flaps. and that was it, mate. I even had the key that said up on it as well too. But it was brilliant, loved it, slid everywhere. Still to this day has one of the best handbrakes. I think top 3 best handbrake turn cars. Mini R56, they're pretty good. Fiesta Mark 8 ST, and the up is still to this day brilliant. It's like a hydraulic handbrake. It's unbelievable.
Miles better than I have to say that I have to, BMW fanboy over here, as you all know. Handbrakes and BMs are shite. They're terrible. Like there's no power in them at all, is there?
No, it's no good. So I drove an M3 comp and I thought, I could initiate the slide using a handbrake. No. Stop. So, which is sad really, because you know, if you want to have an emergency stop, what do you do?
I'm sure you found another way to initiate the slide though.
The throttle on the right. But yeah, no, that was my first car, little VW Up. Great car.
Okay, nice.
What about you, Joe?
Go on, Joe.
Oh yeah, mine's again Volkswagen Group heavy here. It was the Golf Mark 4 Silver GTI. Remember?
Yeah. Yes.
3-door. 2 litre. I mean, this is when Volkswagen were going through a pretty bad stage, because they were great cars. They were solid and strong, but heavy. And then they labelled the one I had was labelled as a GTI 2 litre. It had a 2 litre 8-valve engine in it, and it produced 115 bhp. And a car that was like 1.5 tons.
But there was a 1.8. There was the 1.8T.
That was the problem. That was the problem. The 20-valve turbo.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
That was the one I got after.
That was when
I got it in an estate form in gold. With beige leather.
No.
Then you have the ST after that.
I think
red ST.
Yeah, not red, grey ST.
Grey
ST. Yeah.
What do you have, an ST170?
No, the 5-cylinder one.
Oh, nice Mark II.
Yeah, ST3. It was a full spec.
Torque steer.
Oh yeah.
And they sound great.
And that was only 220 brake back then. But back then you're like, that's a maximum you could put through front wheels. Really? Not now.
No.
What's the Civic's front wheel drive?
Yeah, 300 horsepower.
Mental.
Do you know what's funny? Now you're talking about now. Imagine if we'd all started YouTube channels back in the day.
Oh, mate.
I mean, I don't know.
You would have been killing it with the neon lights fucking falling down. I could picture it now. Thumbnail. You at the side of the M25.
My neons fell off.
Oh my god.
My car's broken.
I spent 5 hours on a hard shoulder looking for it.
I almost died.
Honestly, onto my. Oh well, we won't go.
But the thing is, like some of the cars, honestly, I look back and I think it's probably the worst decision I ever made not starting back then. Because I mean, car history-wise, that 106 was shocking. Let's be honest, it was a bag of crap. But then I went and bought the 106 GTI.
Oh, what do you have? Phase 1 or Phase 2? What year?
2000.
Phase 2.
I don't know, 120 horsepower.
Yeah. What colour?
It weighed nothing.
Midnight blue.
Oh,
it was incredible. It was the one that Clarkson was raving about.
Yeah, mate, what a car.
That honestly was one of my favourite. It cost about £3,500 a year to insure it, and I was doing a part-time job, so everything I wouldn't even eat. Mate. I was just like, I might take the odd sniff of the petrol tank to try and get some sort of. But yeah, no, that was wicked. Then I went Civic Type R EP3.
Oh, good car.
That was a great car.
Good hot hatches in, man.
Mate, EP3 Civic Type R, the final edition one. Then I went first E46 M3.
Oh my god, this is just getting better and better.
Yeah, I wrote that one off. That was great. Man. Yeah, I tried to be Sid and it didn't work. So then
it did for a couple of seconds by the sounds of things.
Yeah, then I went Evo 6. Evo 8.
Wow, mate, I didn't know you had.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I've messed up. I would have a load more subscribers if I actually filmed. Then I got rid of the Evo and got another E46 M3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I thought I'd be sensible when I bought a 535D.
Yeah.
That lasted a week. Then I got rid of that and got the 1 Series diesel. The 1 Series diesel. Then I got, it gets better. Then I got a 1.8 Focus gear. Like I bought it for 250 quid because I was buying my first house.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then I just realised I just couldn't do it. And then I bought an RS4 B7.
What?
Oh my god!
Many cars,
Do you have a back bucket?
Yeah.
And the flat bars.
What
colour?
Black B7 RS4 saloon. I got. That was incredible.
Oh, the saloon as well.
B7 RS4 saloon.
What a car!
Then I got rid of that. Got the above because I'm saving for a house. Done that to 250, and now I've got the A45.
Wow.
What? That is a cool
I didn't
car.
realise you, because I've only known you for about a year or so, maybe just over.
Yeah.
So
That
I've only
is
known
one of
you.
the coolest
But
car
just to be clear, everything was financed. My student loan got raped on cars.
Yeah.
And I just literally took one massive loan out and just kept chopping and changing.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
It's my one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's not. I mean, that's what we were talking about.
NEC.
Oh, we can go this one, can't we? Earlier on, like financing nowadays, it just opens the doors to like my M2, 52 grand. I would never, and I haven't got anywhere near. Okay, I could have probably got a personal loan out for that, but maybe not even. I don't know if the bank would give me 50 grand for a car. But financing just makes everyone able to go out. Not everyone. I know that sounds bad, but you can afford cars that you can't afford.
That you can't afford.
I mean, Aaron and I were talking about that this morning, weren't we? I mean, the PCP game has changed the car world. You can get something that you'd never go out and buy a 70 grand car, but you can go out and put a 10 grand deposit down, have like a 30 grand balloon at the end, and the middle bit you could probably afford monthly, but can you afford to run?
Can you afford the car?
Yeah, that's the thing.
The running costs.
And that's the thing I do go on about a bit on my channel actually, is that a lot of people message me, and I'm sure they message all of you guys, not Aaron, but
you can message me if you want to, guys. Like you can.
He's full of knowledge.
I'm approachable.
But they ask me like, oh, I can just afford this one, or I can get this spec, or I can. And it's like, I always say to people, never stretch. Like, there's no point in completely stretching your limits and buying a car on monthlies, because then you can't afford to put fuel in the fucking tank. You can't afford to take it away on a road trip on the weekend. And at the end of the day, why are you buying it? Where are we going here? Do we know?
Autosport International.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Do I need? No. I think
No.
it was really confusing. For me anyway.
I was going to say, all these road markings, it's like you've never seen them before.
Guys, what I'm going to say is we've actually just turned up at the Birmingham NEC for the Autosport Car Show. We're going to head in there and have
I was going to say, if any of you are there, come and say hello. This isn't quite how technology works, is it?
No,
Exactly.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
You're going to get the one person that's going to turn up there and comment, go, I'm here. Sorry. So
I'll say hello to you in the comments then, buddy. Well done.
But yeah, we're going to shoot inside and have a look around, and we'll check out things that are interesting. But yeah, thanks a lot for everyone that's in the car so
Thanks
far.
for watching.
Yeah, and remember to subscribe to these guys if I don't mention that later on, and make sure you follow Baby Gorilla.
81.
81.
81.
Oh, there's a nice M2, you know.
Yeah,
I like
nice.
that.
Where am I going, man? Here?
Just follow everyone.
Careful of.
Watch out the old
I've indicated so hopefully. Okay.
Right, let's do this. Let's see what it's about.
Let's see it. Let's do
Very
it.
nice. Easy.
Oh, well, here we are, boys. We're at the Birmingham NEC. We're going to look at some MGBs. Yeah, MGBs, camper homes. Can we just admire the weave on the GT? Oh, there's a weave. Not as good as an MG, though. No, that's
One sec, let me just get the shorts.
just walk around like that. So it's quite nice today, I have to say. We're here. Is it a trade day?
Yeah, trade day.
So trade day.
Yeah, it's trade day. It's way more time.
Yeah, we hooked you up. In fact, no, Motec hooked me up, so thank you very much. And you. And you.
And me.
Thank you, Mike. Sid hooked himself up. Sid's more intelligent than all of us.
Sid just walked in.
Sid
no one
just
knows
walked
he's
in,
here.
yeah.
We've got something you might like.
Oh, have you?
No, I don't really want it.
Oh, let's go and have a look at it.
You'll love it.
Oh,
Spotted this in the picture.
look at that thing, Sid. Is that a bit of you? Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that, Randy.
Oh, tyres! Oh, tyres!
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Mate, that is incredible.
That is cool, isn't it?
Oh.
Would it skid, Sid?
Whoa, I don't know.
Maybe not with those tyres so much, yeah.
Maybe in this weather.
Nice. Right, we're just going to wander around and point out anything interesting on camera. Sid, I didn't know you did F1, mate.
Yeah, but you know, I got bored, so decided to skid some road cars.
That would be you if there was an F1, if you were an F1 driver, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that would have been more me as well. That could have been a combination.
That's a Fiesta ST forum picture.
Yeah, exactly. I got outrageous. That's bang out of order. You shouldn't be doing that on a racetrack. You shouldn't be doing that.
Such shade, so good.
What kind of driver is this? This is amazing.
This is the most joked car control I've ever seen in my life.
Trying to go for a neat and tidy lap. What's this?
we're down here at the Remus stand. I'm a bit excited about this because obviously my Remus exhaust for my M2 competition is only, well, weeks away really. They've actually got one here to look at, so let's have a look. This is a catback system for the M2 competition. Now they're doing two different variations. They're doing this one here, which is the EU regulated, homologated system, which is pretty loud. I've been listening to it on the headphones. They also do the racing version, which is the one I'm getting, which is basically two separate boxes. So a bit like with this M5 one over here, it's like two of these, but one in front of the other. And it's a bit louder. Obviously it has a valve on it for opening and closing, but it sounds so good through the headphones, so I can't imagine what it's going to sound like in real life, and I can't wait to get one of these systems on my car. Obviously there's three different tips, so there's the standard stainless ones here, we've got the full carbon ones like the ones I had on my M140, and then we've got the final alternative, which are these ones here. This is actually off a Civic Type R, as you might be able to recognise. There's a nice lowered M4 there. But yeah, super exciting. This, while we're here, we might as well have a look. This is this is designed for the F90 M5. Beautiful looking system. You can see that with the F90, they're obviously not confined by space so much because the M2 is a lot narrower. So they've managed to separate the boxes, and it's a real piece of art. It looks beautiful, this system, really nice. And then we've got an amazing RS3 exhaust over here. Hey, how's it going? Which is just stunning. Look at these pipes. You gotta love the Audi RS pipes. They just look so good. And I can't even begin to imagine what this sounds like, because there's one thing that an RS3 does well, and that is sound amazing. So super excited about Remus. Got lots coming up with these guys. I really look forward to yeah, potentially going over and seeing their factory, having a look at how these exhaust systems are made, put together, and yeah, lots of adventures, so stay tuned. So as we're here at Remus at the moment talking about exhaust, this is Mark Rutten, everyone, that you might know, Tim's manager, M2 I Am Too Cool owner, or M2 competition, Schmark 150 on Insta. Look, he's plugging himself. Look, he's, he knows how it works. Now Mark, can you just explain in a dummy form what an OPF filter is like?
It's like watering your flowers in the garden and then standing with your feet on the hose. Yeah. And then your nozzle, then you replace your nozzle, which is your end damper or your slip-on, but it doesn't really help much. Just get your feet off the hose. Yeah, so your foot is essentially the OPF filter. That's very well explained. Really, yeah. Guys, Joe has difficulties about removing the OPF, and I'm now convincing him that he has to.
I've got difficulties with my hose. Oh, he didn't even react.
Oh, sorry, what?
Oh, it doesn't matter. No.
Sorry.
You need to help his hose.
Right.
You need to help him with his hose.
No, he doesn't. Well, unless I got some tweezers. Tweezers and a magnifying glass.
Oh my God, it's sideways squid.
Squid?
Yep.
Squid juice.
Picked up a McLaren as well. We have in there our showpiece, our centerpiece for the whole live action arena. We've nicked a McLaren F1 car.
Are you sure that you've nicked a McLaren F1 car?
Yeah, we did.
So we just watched the live arena, which was really fun. Had Mr. Timmy out there. We had Emma Walsh doing a really good presenting job, and Drift Tessa was out there as well. All came to a bit of an abrupt end when the monster truck ended up on its roof, effectively. But we're just going behind stage now, hopefully catch up with Tim. Right, so we're behind the live arena there, just having a look around. We've got Tim Senna behind us, so let's go and have a quick look around the Senna, because it is, I'm not going to call it beautiful, because it's not, it's pretty ugly, but it's impressively ugly. So we're going to go and have a quick look around it, just so you can appreciate some of the details, because I've looked at a number of Sennas over the years, or over the last year that I've seen, and, or 6 months it's probably only been, but the aero is just ridiculous, and until you get really close and you start looking at it, look at that, and it's all exposed, well, blue carbon, which again pictures doesn't pick it up, but It's just, there's so much detail to this thing. It really is. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is. And that's before you get to the rear wing, which is just humongous. I mean, look, size 12 feet. The wing's bigger and longer. It's just an amazing. It's an amazing piece of kit. It's not good looking, but it is amazing. I'm going to jump in and get a picture, I think. Yes. So I'm just down here at my friend's at Tarox. If you remember, my M140 had the Tarox brake rotors, which I raved about all the time. Fantastic bits of kit. Obviously, I'm looking at some for my M2 competition now, and I've been looking at some of the rotors. Now we got these lovely floating. Are they floating? They're floating. Two-piece floating rotors. So that is actually for the M2. So it's nice and big. Look at the size of that caliper. I mean, that's a big caliper. That's massive. But really, I want to go really big. So Mike, do they do anything like bigger than? I mean, that's huge. Like, surely they don't do anything bigger than that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I mean, we could do that one.
Look at the size of that. Can we just reference it? Put it up against your head or something, Mike? Put it next to your head.
Like phone.
The phone. There we go.
That's an 8+.
Look at that. This
doesn't weigh anything.
That's amazing, and it doesn't weigh anything.
That set up on an M4.
An M4, therefore you could actually really put it on an M2 as well if you needed to. I mean, that's massively overkill for me, but isn't that incredible? I mean, that is, look, just for reference. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. And check those out. Yes, they are very sexy. They can obviously color code, I'm guessing, to most anodized, yeah. But that's ridiculous. 12 pop, 12 piston. Yeah. 12 pistons. So yeah, I might look at getting some of them for the M2 because obviously I'm doing some track days this year, and I think the first thing that would go are the brakes overheating. It's quite a common thing, so watch this space. Right then guys, I'm going to sign off now. Had a really good day down here with some fantastic people around me. And just bumped into Jack from Auto ID as well. Hello. Visit my website.
Links to everyone's channels in the description.
Yeah, good point, mate. Everyone's links to everyone's channels, including Aaron's sole Instagram handle, is going to be below.
Yeah, maybe related.
So we're going to go. Take it easy. Thanks for watching as always. Happy New Year.
What have you got in there? You're a maniac. That's it, I get crisp packets.
Oh, no, razors.
I can't even get my phone.
I missed a tiny bit on my lip and it's pissing me off.
You've got a shave in the
I bought a
crazy mad chauffeur.
Can you imagine getting in a car and then you didn't know, like it was an Uber or something, and then you turn out and it's Sid